Okay, in this quick video, we're just going to review once again how to add or subtract integers. And one thing you can do is you can think of having like a scoreboard. So you could think of positives going on one side and negatives going on the other side. And you might also want to consider looking at the terms. So for example, I know that -6 is a term. So I have 6 negatives. And then I'm going to look at my next term, and my next term is a plus -1. So I have 1 negative. If I look at my scoreboard, I have 7, and they're under the negative sign, so it's -7. We're going to do the next one, the same idea. So here's my little scoreboard. I've got positives and negatives. My first term is a -5, so that means I have 5 negatives. And my second term is a -2, so I have 2 negatives. If I have 5 and 2 negatives, that gives me a total of 7 negatives. Now this one I'm going to do this one we'll do the same way. So once again, I've got my scoreboard. I've got positives and negatives. My first term is a +8, and my second term is a -4. So I have -4. Now if I have 8 positives and 4 negatives, you know that we would have, if we balance it out, 4 positives. Let's take a look at this one and do it slightly different. It's 2 minus a -6. So my first term is 2. I have 2 positives. My next term is a -6. This is called like a double negative. So anytime you see a negative times a negative, it becomes a positive. So I now have 6 positives, and 2 and 6 gives me 8. So there's another method to use when adding or subtracting integers. I'm just going to go ahead and do the next 3 really quickly in my head. You owe me 3. You owe me 7. Guess what? You owe me $10. Here right away, I see I have a +5 and a -5. Those are opposites. When we add opposites, we always get 0. And this one, I'm going to always keep my first term the same. Don't change him. But I do see a double negative. And anytime I see a double negative, it becomes a positive. So here's my scoreboard. I have positives and negatives. I have 3 negatives. I have 4 positives. If you have $4 and you owe me, if you have $4 and you give me 3, they would balance out and we'd have 1 positive. And remember, you could always use the idea of a number line. So I'm going to do this one more time using a number line. I'm at -3, and it says I'm going to go to the right 4 spaces. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be -2, -1, 0. +1 is where I end up if I add 4. So hopefully this helps. There's so many different methods to add and subtract integers. Just practice will help you. Try to imagine a number line. Try to imagine a scoreboard. Try to always, if it's subtraction, change it to an addition problem. That will help you. And I'm going to do just one more. What if we had -5 plus, nope, -5, hold on, I'm going to erase that, -7. Once again, you can either keep this term the same and change this to its opposite, and then I'd have -5, -7. that would give me negative 12, or negative 5 minus 7. Here's another way to look at it. You have your first term here, negative 5. You have your second term here, negative 7. So if I use the scoreboard, it looks like I have 5 negatives, 7 negatives. 7 and 5 give me 12, and they're under the negative column. So I hope that helped.